Welcome to Pink Kink,
where we talk about the pretty, twisted side of kink.
I'm Princess Rara.
And I'm Dara, the Electro Khaleesi.
Whether you are a new kinkster or have years of experience, Pink Kink will help you level up your kink knowledge.
Join us on this journey as we talk about our personal experiences and use the knowledge we've gained over 28 years of being involved in both private and professional aspects of this lifestyle to help you explore every facet of kink.
Get set for an adventure. Not only will you learn and grow, but we promise loads of laughter, turning each episode into a fun party. So fasten your seatbelt and let's get this show started. Pink Kink runs off the generosity of our devoted patrons.
As a patron, you will become a member of our special Discord server, receive some adorable Pink Kink stickers, as well as have access to a monthly behind-the-scenes podcast. Patrons also get discounts at our Etsy shop, Pink Kink Boutique, and our online classes at Pink Kink Institute.
In addition, our impactful and electrifying Pink Kinksters get special audio and video episodes. And finally, patrons at our highest tier will be recognized as producers, both here on the podcast and on our website.
If you would like to become a patron, you can visit us at patreon.com/pinkkinkpodcast or click the link at pinkkinkpodcast.com.
Today's episode is produced by our electrifying Pink Kinksters. Thank you, Jay, Witcherman, Brianna Lynn, Daddy J, Fabe, William P, Claire, Lady Blooding, Naughty and Nice, Butte Pain, Manda Panda, Kat, Stefan, Shadow Phoenix, Christopher, Brian, May Cry Devil, Ruby Riot, Enchanted Sparrow, The Wombat, Impact Hazard, Twitch, The Midnight Girl, Sinful, J21, Daisy If You Do, AK Harley Chick, Violet Rain, Serenity, Belle, Eric, Lady Affliction, Pumpkin Pie, Ms. Tourmaline,
S'more, Hacksaw, Wee Mad Beastie, To Be Better For Me, 3 a.m. Thoughts, Crash Override, Iro, Kinky Bear, Sviper No Sviping, Barbie, Navigator Bard, Frost, Coffee and Chaos, Mr. Pillsbury, Peaches, Mighty Owl, Princess Sassy Pants, Lady and Lex, Chaos Monster, Jessa Lady, DJ Harlow, Ophelia, Drew, Daddy's Pumpkin, Birchbeard, Lady to Kitten, Mongoose, Sadia Lemon, Daddy Dom Gav, Dismal, and Noir.
Today's episode is inspired not by social media.
Hallelujah.
Right? I bet you weren't expecting that.
I wasn't. I was expecting TikTok again.
This is actually was a request from a friend of ours, Leadfingers.
Oh, hey.
After hearing our episode on solo submission, he reached out. He was like, so, hey.
Well, so I actually thought that you were going to say this episode was inspired by our episode on solo submission.
Well, this episode was on my to-do list. It just got moved way up because Leadfingers specifically asked about it. And I want to give the people what they're asking for.
Of course.
So I figured the people, a.k.a. Leadfingers, I'll give him what he was asking for. And I'm sure there's multiple people also thinking it too. So that's how this episode came together.
All right. Well, now we have the birth of the episode.
I can't really share any other stuff because we're going to do a whole episode on adventures at the dungeon. So I don't want to go into any details.
Dungeapalooza.
And I've also got, upcoming stuff, which will have happened before this episode actually comes out, because timey-wimey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're actually we're recording this almost a month in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good like that. Or is it bad like that? I'm never quite sure.
I think it depends on your timey-wimey.
Yeah. Because sometimes I listen to things and I'm like, I can hear the confusion in our voices because we're trying to figure that out.
Yeah, no, it's actually hell on a stick to figure all this out. But yeah.
But this one will be out at the end of the month.
Almost the end of the month?
Oh, 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. All right. So this episode is actually about embracing your BDSM dominant side when you don't have a submissive. Dominance is basically, it's not something you do. It's really, right? It's something that you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you don't need a submissive to actually be a dominant. And that's really interesting because people ask you what your role is and you can say, I'm a dominant or I'm a submissive. They ask you that first before they ask you if you have
a partner or
partner.
anything. Yeah.
So I don't understand why people get it in their head that they can't be the dominant or the submissive if they don't have a partner. It's who you are. It really doesn't matter. Same way that whether I am sitting at home watching football or in the dungeon, I still identify as a kinkster.
Yep. Well, I mean, football can be kind of kinky.
The way I watch it.
I was going to say, have you heard the announcers?
Yes, I was thinking that yesterday as they were talking about stuffing it.
See?
So, yeah.
I don't even fucking watch football. I just watch the outtakes or not outtakes. I just watch the commentary on TikTok.
Oh, that funny sound effect. Yeah.
And then all of the book talk girls are like, hello? That does not say, what are you listening to? Sports. And like every time they're in the locker room and they like slap each other's ass and stuff, I'm like, hello, you're kinky.
Exactly. Think about it. Well, you might not think about this because you don't actually follow football. But for those who follow football, you've got the center who's holding the ball and the quarterback's hands are right by the center's junk waiting to get the ball.
By his big round ball.
Yes.
Also, I don't know if I ever told you this. I was commandeered and put on a fantasy football team at work.
Oh my goodness. How'd that happen?
She said, I need another person and you're new, so you're going to be on my team. I'm like, I don't have the first, I mean, I know there's a ball.
There we go.
So they run.
So you don't know how many downs to get a first down?
I don't know what any of that shit means. And she said I had to pay $10 and I didn't because I don't give a shit if we win or lose or pool or I don't care. So I was like, all right, whatever, just put my name on it so you have a team. That's fine. And now I keep getting updates from the guy that's running the fantasy football league or whatever. And he sends me emails. I'm like, I don't know what this means.
Well, this is like I was on the phone with my mom yesterday because in real time, yesterday was Thanksgiving.
Right.
So I was on the phone with my mom and my team, the New York Giants. I know, I'm sorry. Remember, I am a masochist. They were going to be playing later that afternoon. So my mom asked if I was going to be watching the game, knowing how much my team sucks. And I said, well, of course, it doesn't matter whether they're good or bad. I still love them.
I'm still a fan, even if I'm watching them or not.
And my mom was like, really? I don't think your dad feels that way. And she turns and she's like, honey, are you going to be watching the game today? Do you still believe that whether they're good or bad, you still love the team? And he's like, yeah. She goes, oh, because obviously you can tell which one's the sports fan and which one
right. Well, I'm
isn't.
with your mom. Well, funny. Okay, cute little story. My little brother, he's not little. He's 39. But yeah, anyway. So my brother switches T-shirts for whoever's winning. Like if the other team starts winning, he'll go to his room and change his shirt and cheer for that team.
Have I never told you the funny story of when the Giants were up against the Patriots in the Super Bowl and I was having a Super Bowl party?
No.
Okay. So this is just, do you remember the old commercials? It's only weird if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my theory. Nobody is as superstitious as sports fans. That particular season, if I was watching the game and the Giants started losing, if I turned the TV off, the Giants would come back and win.
Okay.
If I left the room and just let my son watch it, the Giants would come back and win. So it got to be, as soon as the Giants started losing, everybody would be like kicking me out. So it was the Super Bowl, Giants versus the Patriots. And this was the second one because the first one we never expected to win and we did anyway. The second one, we had a shot. It was the fourth quarter and we were down. We were losing. And I had to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom. While I was in the bathroom, the Giants scored the go-ahead touchdown. I come back out and everybody takes one look at me and goes, get out. What are you doing? They're ahead. You can't do this. So at my own party in my own house, I had to go hide somewhere else and not watch the game until the game ended and the Giants won.
Could you watch it like on a separate? Oh.
Nope. I had to not have it on. I had to not be watching it.
Sucks for you.
We won the game, so I was willing to do this because I had, VCR, so I could, not actually DVR, so I could go backwards and rewind it and watch it again and see the go-ahead touchdown. But yeah, we're a very superstitious lot.
Apparently.
Anyway, okay, so we have totally gone off topic.
Well, I wanted to hear about how your daughter's Thanksgiving went not going to her dad's family.
Oh, she got stuck going to dad's family because she had a flat tire and couldn't get anywhere.
No.
So I have not heard back from her yet to make sure she didn't kill anybody.
I want those stories.
Yeah.
Tell her I need the stories.
Okay, I'll let her know. Why did I want to do this episode? Well, similar to wanting to do it with the submission, it's because I really wanted to overcome this misconception that dominance requires a partner. There is so much that you can do to nurture your identity that doesn't require external validation, that doesn't require somebody else to say, hey, you're a dominant. And I also wanted to try to acknowledge that we always feel bad for submissives who are without partners and not have a dominant to help them. We don't seem to give that same grace toward dominance, as if somehow dominants don't feel as much as submissives feel, and that's ridiculous. So I did want to acknowledge that loneliness and kind of go from there. So I've heard the term dominant energy. I haven't quite decided if I like that term or not. I just haven't come up with a better term. So we're kind of going to go with dominant energy. And if you, meaning Dara, or you, the listeners, have a better way to phrase this, I am all ears, please. Because I'd like to come up with a better way of discussing it.
Well, because that implies there's submissive energy.
Yes.
And I'm not sure I like that. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Well, in my head, the dominant energy is basically a mix of your mental, your emotional, and physical qualities. It's not just about being in control, but it's about leading with purpose, showing empathy, practicing self-discipline, and understanding your dominant energy really connects you to that role, makes you feel more confident, and ultimately helps you in not only kink scenes, but just your everyday life. So let's break that down even further. What do I mean by the mental aspect of it? Well, there's confidence and assurance. Basically knowing and trusting in your own abilities to lead, even making mistakes and how you deal with that, and having a positive, commanding mindset. It includes planning and preparation, being detailed-oriented, envisioning how you would craft scenes or manage your dynamic, and being flexible and ready to adapt as needed, and maybe, like me, have plan A through G.
I was going to say Q.
Mm-hmm. Right? And it's about having focus and clarity and staying present and fully engaged, and maybe practicing mindfulness to improve your mental sharpness and your ability to observe others, which you can utilize if and when you actually do have a submissive. There's the emotional aspect of it. There's being empathetic and understanding the needs and the desires and the limits of your potential partner. It's being emotionally intelligent, recognizing nonverbal cues during your interactions. It's about patience and self-control and not reacting impulsively, especially in moments of conflict or resistance. It's exercising restraint and recognizing when to push boundaries and when to pull back. It's embracing vulnerability and learning from your experiences without letting your failures deter you, and balancing your emotional needs with the role of being someone else's support system. And then finally, the physical aspect of it. It's a commanding presence, right? Whether it's your posture, your stance, or your body language, but you are just exuding confidence that anybody who is with you can just see that. It's about having self-discipline, engaging in physical practices, maybe that's exercise or yoga or martial arts that really help you embody that control, and using rituals or habits to maintain physical readiness and mindfulness. Powerful gestures, experimenting with small but significant movements. Like, the look, we always talk about the look the dom gives.
Yeah.
With some people can do it with just the one eyebrow.
I can't do the one eyebrow, but if you kind of squeeze one eye shut halfway, it kind of looks like you're doing it.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's
right. You hear, right? We call it the look.
And it sends fear into the heart of the little subby.
It's supposed to.
Also works on small children.
Yeah, it does. And then maybe practicing some symbolic actions like the way you snap on gloves before a scene, the way you pick up a toy, before you're about to use it that amplifies that whole, I am Dom, I am confident.
I am Dom, hear me roar.
Yeah. So that's what I mean by dominant energy. Does that make sense to you now?
Yes.
All right. Anything you want to add to that?
I'm still not, I kind of agree with you about the word because not all of it will apply to everybody, and, like for me, I look like I'm giving off the energy, but on the inside, I'm like, oh my God, leave me alone.
Yeah.
If I don't know you, I'm like, get
Right.
away from me.
And I know that I may not physically look like you would expect a dominant to look like, but if you hang out with me long enough, the commanding presence absolutely exists. Though I'm usually holding back from telling you what to do because I don't have the right to tell people what to do as much as I would like to be able to.
She does it anyway.
Only with the people I love because I'm helping in my own little way.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
It's my story and I'm sticking to it. So one of the things you also want to do is kind of explore different styles of dominance because that will help you find the one that best fits your personality and your values. Now, here's what's interesting. I'm going to go over a bunch of different styles. You don't necessarily have to fall into one. You could fall into multiple.
Oh, it's almost like that's what it's like with all kink.
Yeah. You could fall into multiple. You could be one with one person, another with another person, one with one type of kink, another with another type of kink. These are just kind of giving you a place to start. And then, falling back on that whole kink is customizable idea, pick and choose what works for you and what feels natural. The whole point of this is you want this to feel natural and comfortable. You don't want this to be you're forcing yourself to do something. So you have some of these I'm sure you guys have heard of, right? There's the nurturing dominant. They're going to guide and protect and support someone's growth. For example, maybe they might create care protocols such as meal prep or a self-care checklist to help their submissive. So if you are practicing this to see if this feels natural for you, you can do that for yourself. Create these protocols for yourself. You can write affirmations or motivational, easy for me to say, motivational messages. You can volunteer in non-kink areas like mentorship programs or teaching to hone those nurturing skills and see if that feels like a good fit for you. There's the sadistic dominant, where you like the controlled infliction of pain or intense sensation. But obviously your focus is going to be on creating that within your partner's consents and limits. So some of the ways you can try this out to see if this is the right fit for you is practice your impact play techniques on inanimate objects to refine your accuracy and your control. Explore your own tolerance for sensations so that you have a better understanding of the emotional impact as well as the physical feelings. Practice techniques like flogging or wax play to deepen your skill sets. All that can fall under sadistic. There's the playful dominant, which definitely is part of my personality.
I was going to say, all of these are part of your personality so
far. Incorporating humor and teasing and lighthearted interactions into the power dynamics. So some of the things you can do to see if this is the right thing for you is practicing witty comebacks or playful commands with friends. Maybe planning some scenes that are going to have an element of surprise or mischief. Study playful banter to hone that balance between levity and authority. So all of that, I think. This last one, I haven't really decided if I resonate with this one, and that's the authoritative dominant, who thrives on structure and discipline and maintaining order in dynamics. I do like that for my own world. I like my life to have that structure and discipline. It just helps me focus, but I recognize not everybody makes lists like I do or color-coded spreadsheets.
Apparently only Cindy does.
Cindy does. But some things you can try to see how this feels with you is create some mock rules and protocols for yourself. Maybe like a structured morning routine or productivity goals to see, does it feel weird or does it feel comfortable for you? Even experiment with some punishment and reward systems for yourself. Like if you meet this goal, you treat yourself to the dessert or a movie or whatever. I mean, if you're into it, make yourself a sticker chart, for crying out loud.
Yeah, stickers.
Right? So that's what you can kind of look at to just see which one feels comfortable. And again, I don't necessarily expect anybody to look at that and say, oh, well, I'm definitely this category and this category only. I don't really know anybody who falls into just one. You tend to be a mix of it all.
Well, yeah. And with different people, you're going to act different ways. So like you're going to be way more sadistic and playful at the same time than you are going to be with naughty and nice than you are the nurturing part.
Yeah, exactly. So that, and all of that is totally fine. Just, these are just things to keep in mind. So you also want to have some self-awareness as a dominant. That really will help you understand your dominant energy. So you want to reflect on your identity. Ask yourself things like, what drew me to dominance? What fulfills me about being in control? What does my ideal dominant look like? If you've had past dynamics, reflect on those. Identify what brought you satisfaction from those dynamics, and then the areas you might want to improve. And one of the things I like about this too is that question, what fulfills me about being in control? I think how you answer that says so much about you. If your answer to what fulfills me about being in control is, well, I just want everybody to do what I tell you to do, then I would say you have a lot to work on in yourself as a dominant.
Yeah, that's not dominant. That's just asshole.
That's domineering. And there's a big difference between being dominant and being domineering. You know, like a lot of what fulfills me about being in control is I find I can help people more in a controlled environment.
Honestly, for me, it's just more comfortable. Like there are very few people that I will give up control to. And so it's just my natural state. And the idea of giving up control to somebody else is terrifying, which is why I only do it with like safe people.
Yeah. And for me, it's also very, very comfortable. I don't think that there's anybody that I give up control to at this point in my life. There's nobody I trust people, but even like Diesel, I trust him with a lot of things, but controlling my life would not be one of them.
No.
We just operate very differently. So you want to discover your unique style. What makes you, you? So you could do some journaling exercises where you write about the different dominant archetypes and how they resonate with you. What feels right? Does the nurturing feel right? Does the sadistic feel right? Does the authoritative? What works for you?
Keep in mind, people, journaling is not just for submissive. So if you automatically think that journaling is only a task that you assign your submissive, that's not it. You need to, it's self-reflection. Dominants and submissives can all partake in that.
Oh, ding, 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 ding. Shout that louder for the folks in the back.
So journaling is not,
yeah. There we go. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
They can turn it up.
Okay. Experiment. Try embodying the different styles in daily life to see what feels natural, right? I mean, not everybody feels natural being sadistic.
No, well, so like you're weird because you're a sadistic caregiver.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are either or.
Right. Well, but what's interesting about that for me is though I like it, but only if in this, it actually kind of works with the caregiver. If you like the pain and you like the sadism, then I want to give that to you. And I get great pleasure from giving that to you. If you don't like it, I'm okay not giving it to you because I don't want to, it doesn't do my nurturing side any good to give you something you don't want.
Right. Makes sense.
So that's why when people say, well, oh, I really want to play with you, but I don't really want to, but you're a sadist and I don't like to play with sadists. It's like, I don't have to be a sadist. Is it fun for me? Sure, it's fun.
Well, look, there's different ways of being a sadist. You know, like I'll do it, but I will find the tickle spot on somebody and zap it. And they're like, oh my God. And they're like, flip out.
Yeah.
And then I'll do it again. They're not in pain. They're being tickled.
Right. And for me, tickling does not connect with my sadist side at all.
Well, yeah, but it does for mine.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll do is one of my very favorite fucking things to do is if I have a little on the table, I'll make them sing a song, ABCs or Baba Black Sheep or some little song while I'm zapping them to see when, like, how long they can go before they stop, before they can't anymore and they just start squealing and, all that. That is a predicament. That is sadistic.
Yeah.
It's just more on the mental side than actually giving someone pain or having somebody on the table and I'll go, shh, don't talk, don't move, don't do anything while I do this to you. And they have to control themselves. That's fucking sadistic.
It is. And anybody who doesn't understand that, there's a research project for you right there. Sadism isn't always about physical pain.
It'd be an interesting episode, wouldn't it? The different aspects of sadism.
Okay. And
like
then,
all the different kinds of sadism. And then we have like our experiences with them.
Oh, I'm seeing a future episode.
I have a vision.
That we can both do notes on.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Damn it. Talked myself into that one.
There's my sadism.
Fuck.
Got her right there. Chopped her right there.
Walked into it, didn't I? Help.
As I said, so try the different styles in your daily life to see what feels more natural for you. And then observe how others respond to that energy and act accordingly. So really take a moment and observe like, oh, so this person, friend A, really responded well to my nurturing side, but not my authoritative side. But person B did much better with the authoritative side than my nurturing side.
Does that not go into self-reflection and journaling?
Yes, it is. It's all under that.
Woo!
So that's the self-reflection and experimentation that you then journal about. Okay? Figure out your strengths and what areas you need to improve and grow in. So list the areas where you excel naturally. Is your patience good? Mine is not. Is your...
Ooh.
I just had a whole conversation with this yesterday in my author friend group because I got angry at somebody on their behalf.
At the person on their behalf?
Somebody was talking about how the book that they had purchased was too dark.
All right.
So they were returning it for a refund, which hurts the authors when you do that.
Yeah.
Okay. But A, the book is listed as a dark romance. And B, the book specifically refers to the female character as the male character's foster sister.
Okay.
And then one of their complaints was, ew, brother, sister stuff, that's ick. Okay, it's right in the description. I'm not arguing whether or not you think it's ick or not. But if it's right in the description, then why did you get the book?
So weirdly enough, that is not ick for me.
It's not, it is ick for me if they were actually related. If they're just foster siblings or step siblings,
No.
I don't have a problem
if they're
with
not
it.
blood related, it's fine.
Right? But the point is, it's right there in the description.
If it's explicitly said, and you should have read that. Sorry.
Well, and not only that, but it's also stated, this is a very triggering book. Read the author's page on the triggers included in this book. Like the author could not have gone any further out of their way to say, hold up before you read this, be aware of this. So for somebody to be like, oh my God, it was so icky, I had to return it. I was grossed out by this. And so
rude.
I was like going, how do you guys stay so patient with this? I could never. And they're like, well, we come to groups like this and bitch to each other and support each other.
Sounds right.
Right. So I don't have that kind of patience. Like it would take everything I had of somebody. It's like somebody coming to us and say, oh my God. So I listened to your episode on sharps. You guys talked about blood a lot. And that was really upsetting to me.
I want a refund. Wait, what?
Right.
How?
Yeah.
It's free.
Well, not even that, but I don't think I could like listen to that and be like, you knew we were talking about sharps.
There's a trigger
we gave you
warning
a trigger warning
in the beginning. And yeah, I don't understand. Plus also, you know what? There's this really, really cool thing. You can push stop.
Yeah.
Or there's this really, really cool thing in books. You can stop reading it.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Wow.
So yeah, so patience is definitely something I would not list as one of my strengths.
It's not a virtue for you.
No, not so good. Right. And then celebrate those qualities as part of your dominant identity. And then identify the areas that you need to improve. Like for me, it would be patience. Some people, it might be building confidence.
Mine is just peopling at this point. It has been such a struggle to people recently. I'm like, every single person I talk to, I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to be here. I want to go home.
See, my problem is I love peopling, but there's just a lot of stupid people. And that makes
that's
it harder.
Probably a lot of it, because right now I'm in the you're all stupid phase. I'm mad. I'm mad at people in general.
Yeah. Well, we're still in the, we're still both in the anger phase of our
I'm going
grieving
to be
process.
for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to be angry Dara for the next 4 years, possibly longer.
Listen, okay, I don't know if the Secret Service listened to us, so I don't want to get in trouble. But, he is old.
Remind me to tell you what my Thanksgiving discussion was
Oh,
yesterday
no.
with my parents.
But just in case anybody's listening to us in the Secret Service, first of all, hi, welcome, Kinksters.
Yeah, we love you. Please handcuff me.
Yeah. But then once you've identified these growth areas and set small actionable goals to work on in those areas so that you can improve it. Because when you don't have another partner, you have more time to focus on all of this, and it will make you a better partner when you find somebody. Plus, it's never good to necessarily learn on somebody else. Like, learn on your own and practice.
Don't do that.
So let's talk about some concrete ideas for tapping into that dominant side of you. And Dara's going to love this because I do. It's like, that's section 3, and we're about to start with 3.1.
I did like that, actually. 3.1 and then 1 and then...
I really did go through, and this is so organized. I had way too much time on my hands because of my vacation.
Yeah, Rara didn't really know what to do with herself this week, so she made 3.1.
So some things you can do some solo practices is practice commands and presence. Stand in front of a mirror and practice giving commands with clarity and authority and confidence.
I'm picturing this. I'm picturing Rara in her little pink outfit standing in front of a mirror going, sit down.
Okay, I have children and a pet. That's where I practice. I don't need a mirror.
You just said mirror, so I went with it.
I had an argument with my cat yesterday who had the audacity to hiss at me, and I turned and looked at her and said, bitch, I am the head pussy in this household. You will stop hissing at me. You only get fed because I choose to buy you food. Do you really want to risk that?
I think any parent, well, any good parent, I'm not too sure about some of these parents these days who are doing that permissive parenting shit. But any parent worth their salt who actually knows how to discipline their child, I don't think will have too big of a problem being dominant.
No, except for the fact that it's that fine line because you don't want to treat your submissive like a child. Unless, of course, you have a caregiver little role, and then that's all been consented to.
Okay, but on the other
hand,
hand, Daddy sometimes does that to me where he treats me like a child, but but not a little. Mm-hmm. There's a difference.
Yeah, there is.
And it annoys the ever-living fuck out of me, and then I become passive-aggressive in response, and it's not good.
Really? I've never known your aggression to be passive.
Well, okay, so for example, I don't even remember if I texted you about this because usually you're the one that I'm like, Daddy J is pissing me off.
Yes, I get those several times throughout the week.
Because he pisses me off. Like, for example, this is just a minor one. Stop pulling up the sheets and making your side of the bed while I'm still in it.
Okay, that's fair.
Because he yanks them and he wakes me up.
Oh, if you're sleeping? No.
He starts making the bed when he gets out of it, and I'm still asleep.
If you were chilling in bed, that'd be one thing. But if you're actually sleeping, no.
No, and he yoinked it, and I was hanging on to the sheets, and like I rolled to the right a little bit, and I was like, what the actual fuck? I thought it was an earthquake. So anyway, that's annoyance thing, but that's just being married. So the one that he did the other day, and this was him trying to be daddy. Like, I'm fully aware of this, but it wasn't working. Stop going through my fucking mail that is already on my desk because I already know it exists and putting it right side up on top of my computer so that I see it.
Oh, see, my rules would be touch anything on my desk and you will die.
Well, that's the rule now. I will cut your hand off the next time you go through my mail. Stop it. So like, I sent him the most passive aggressive text ever. Like, thank you so much for bringing my own mail to my attention when it was already on my desk. And he's like, I am so sorry. Like, you better fucking be sorry.
Yeah.
Like, stop. That's not daddy.
I'm angry at him on your behalf because that's no.
Yeah, well, that's also like the third or fourth time he's done it. And I'm like about to slap him.
Oh, I said I would have slapped him after the first one because to me, that's like a no-brainer. Like, if it's on my desk, I already know about it. Like, what do you need to do?
Yeah, stop it.
Yeah. Anyway, so while you're doing this, if you're actually able to look into the mirror without getting into hysterical laughter, observe your body language and your tone and your facial expressions to make sure that they are in line with the dominance you want to project.
Fix your subtitles.
Oh, yeah. Because you said fix your subtitles, and I'm going, what's wrong with my subtitle? And then it dawned on me. Because we're talking about DOMs and subs. So
No,
subs
we were talking about watching your face in the mirror.
It took me a minute. I got there.
One word, not 2 words.
I got there.
God.
It just took me an extra minute.
We're having the finger moment.
We are. But I got there. Just took me an extra minute. Your subtitles, not your subtitles.
Whoa. Okay.
I got it. I'm with you now.
Yeah.
I'm with you now. Okay. Experiment with vocal tones, firm versus calm or playful, to refine how you want to communicate authority. And you know that there's different tonal voices you can use.
Tonal tones?
Yeah, tonal tones. I was trying to stop myself. I'm still stuck on the subtitle.
See it in your face.
I'm still stuck in it because was it the subtitle that made you realize I was having difficulty?
Yeah.
Yeah, my subtitle.
I'm questioning your mental capacity right now.
Zero.
Fair enough. It is the day after Thanksgiving.
I'm still on vacation. I don't have to turn my brain back on for like 3 days.
Why do you think I was so against actually putting on clothes and coming here today?
Except this was your idea. This day, because how many times did I confirm? Look back through our things. How many times did I confirm with you? So we're doing this on the day after Thanksgiving?
Hey.
And you kept saying, yes, we are.
I didn't forget. I just didn't want to.
I didn't want to. I know. I totally had to dom her to get her to come over here, but it worked because she's here.
You didn't dom me. You just said, you gentle parented me. You said, look, you've got a choice.
That's how I dom.
Fuck you.
It worked. You're here, aren't you?
Only so I don't have to come next time.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. I knew what was happening.
I'm going to be fucking hungover as shit next time. I don't want to be anywhere.
But yeah, I mean, I love some of the ideas of deliver some phrases like come here, which always cracks me up because the only time that I'm ever like, come here, I'm usually talking to my children.
Do they still respond to that?
I don't think I do it now as they're adults.
You just,
Plus,
I've heard that, hey, can you come here?
Yeah. Well, part of it too is, okay, so I live with one, the other two I don't live with. So when I'm actually seeing the other two, I'm really trying hard not to have this kind of an attitude with them because I only get limited amount of time with them.
Yes, but also your subtitles when you're talking to your daughter sometimes are like, oh my God, please.
Yes. All right. So create some rituals for yourself to try them out. It'll help you be creative in coming up with rituals. It'll help you understand maybe your submissive's point of view when those rituals are assigned. It'll also help you understand how you would like, what you would like from your submissive. So for instance, start your day with intention. Set a ritual for maybe how you begin each day. And that can mirror how you're going to establish routines for your submissive. So maybe you're starting with a meditation or some journaling or goals for the day. And that'll tell you, oh yeah, I think that'd be really beneficial if my sub started their day that way. Daily affirmations. Have them that reinforce your dominant identity, such as I lead with confidence and care, or I embody strength and control. And then you could see how well they do or do not work, which will help you decide if you're going to assign those to your submissive. Object handling rituals, right? Practice handling tools like floggers or paddles or rope with care and precision, as if you're preparing for a scene. Is there a particular way you would like it? I have seen dynamics where the submissive kneels and holds, let's say, the paddle in 2 hands and holds it out for their dominant to take.
I've used that one, yeah.
Right? Is that something that you would like to include? So you kind of play around with these things. Back to journaling, because I think journaling is really helpful and I don't think people use enough. And honestly, I don't know that it'll be out in time for this episode, but we have a digital download of 100 submissive journaling prompts. I'm going to work on one for dominant prompts. We just know that you dominants are really bad about actually journaling. So I haven't rushed to do it. But this is a good time to do it, right? Reflect on prompts such as what does a dominant mean? What does being a dominant mean to me? How do I want my submissive future? God, I cannot speak. How do I want my future submissive to feel when they're in my care? What values guide my dominant identity? Right? You want to come up with a bunch of these and write them down. And you can have a notebook that you write these in. You could do it on your phone in the
Notes app.
In the Notes app. You can do it on a computer if you sit down and write that. Like, it doesn't matter.
I have a shit ton in my Notes app because I can hit record, and when you get your idea, you know how you get your ideas when you're like in the shower or driving?
Yep.
Because your brain just kind of like wanders. And
Pooping.
then, yeah. Go ahead. Anyway, you just hit record, and you can do it in voice notes. You can do, well, not while you're pooping, because that would be a little, like, hold it while you're actually recording, because then when you hit play and you're pooping, and you're like,
well, it's
"Ew."
not for anybody else to listen to.
Yeah, but still. Anyway.
Right. And then write detailed plans for some hypothetical scenes, including the tools, the mood, maybe the aftercare to help clarify your vision and style. I mean, this is an opportunity to just let your creative juices flow. So speaking of that, some role play scenarios, right? Practice alone. Pretend you're leading a submissive in a scene. Issue verbal instructions. Move with purpose. Imagine how their responses are going to go. Enlist a friend. Role play leadership scenarios with them, such as guiding a team project or running a mock negotiation, to kind of refine your ability to command and direct. Other creative outlets you can do, write erotica or scene scripts that focus on the dominant and power exchange. Create mood boards or playlists of songs that inspire and help you channel your dominant energy.
Those are fun.
Right? I don't do mood boards per se, but I absolutely do have music playlists.
So I sort of do Pinterest boards for that. Like I have so many different Pinterest boards. It's demented. Like it's actually kind of gross. Like, you know how you are with the list? This is me with Pinterest boards.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like, this is what I want the vibe to be pictures. So the way you are with music, I am with visuals.
Yeah. All right. So 3.2. Improving your actual practical skills, right? So starting off with your technical skills. Practice impact play techniques. If you're an impact person, use pillows or mannequins or other shaped objects to practice your strikes with floggers or paddles or canes or whips. Make sure you're focusing on your accuracy, your rhythm, and varying intensity and aim and all of that. If your thing is rope, practice tying knots or simple harnesses on yourself or a pillow or a rope dummy to help build muscle memory. If you're more into sensory play, experiment with things like feathers or ice or Wartenberg wheels to understand their sensations. You can test them out on yourself to kind of empathize with how they might feel for a submissive.
And honestly, you should be doing that anyway.
Right? From the electro standpoint, like what could somebody do to improve their technical skills from an electro standpoint?
It's actually a lot more difficult to do that on yourself, especially with the indirect, but the direct, or like in the reverse, but in the direct, you can test out new implements. If you're going to do it on reverse, the only thing I can say is you're going to have to get a friend to help out. But you want to get a friend who's like really, really good at giving feedback. Like if the friend says you need to go faster, because when you go really, really slow, that makes it a hell of a lot more painful. If the person isn't into pain, you need to learn how to go faster. You need somebody who knows technique, but who can also give really, really good feedback for something like that, because you can't close the circuit on yourself. So with electro, it's a little more difficult.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, as I said, I can practice with accuracy with my single tail at home without another person. And then it still becomes different when there's somebody in front of me. I've had that when I've been working on my Florentine flogging. I can Florentine flog beautifully
When there's
on
nobody
an
around.
inanimate object. But the minute there's an ass in my face, I don't know what happens.
You get nervous?
It's not that I get nervous. My arms forget to switch things out.
All right.
All right. So work on your communication skills. Strengthen those. Practice active listening. We are terrible about listening. We tend to listen to respond, meaning as somebody's talking to you and you're listening to what they're saying, you're already putting together your response to them in your head. And you don't want to do that. You want to kind of just be listening to what they're saying. So practice that. Have deep conversations with friends or peers to refine your ability to listen and respond thoughtfully. You can listen to other podcasts, not us, because you can't really, we don't get that deep. I'm sorry, we just don't. We might get deep in shit, but that's about it. But maybe, other podcasts where you can really listen to them and then formulate responses to them. Explore consent dialogues. Practice negotiating scenes hypothetically, imagining how you would discuss boundaries, limits, and desires. Another thing you can do is learn how to construct a scene. Plan complete scenes. Get a freaking notebook and write these down and have all these full scenes that you've planned out written down in there, where it includes warm up and peak intensity and then aftercare. Even if you never actually perform it, it just gets you into the habit of designing a scene.
You could also type them out and just have the document on your computer.
Yep. Incorporate storytelling into your immersive scenes. Example, maybe setting up role play scenarios with detailed narratives of the way you would like to have it done.
Boy, we're going to get in a lot of trouble if like somebody writes something and then like the police come. Pink King podcast told me to do it.
You're writing a book. It's all
notes, research.
Yeah. We always laugh like, right? Are you a criminal or an author?
Sometimes the line is very thin.
You want to foster an entire dominant mindset. So the first thing is practice leadership in everyday life. Take initiative in group settings, be it something at work where you're volunteering to lead a team project or organize an event or plan a social outing with your friends. Observe how you manage responsibilities and inspire cooperation from the people that you're working with. Set personal protocols such as some small rules for yourself, like maybe no phone use during meals or strict bedtime routines, just to kind of get that whole structure and discipline set up. Focus on your personal growth. Develop self-control. Practice saying no to temptations. You're telling yourself no. You're not going to spend that extra money. You're not going to procrastinate. You're not going to stay up late and watch that movie you want to watch.
I will never do any of these things.
Yeah, I'm really bad with that. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Unnecessarily spending, I'm relatively good at. Procrastination, not so much.
Hey, I'm really, really good at bedtime.
I am really bad at bedtime because I'm a night owl. So when most people should be getting tired, I'm getting my second wind. It's not good. And I've been on vacation, so we will not discuss how late I've stayed up every night.
What did you do?
Technically mornings.
1 or 2 a.m.?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be not doing too good when you have to go back.
Yep. Nope. It's going to suck for me. Oh, this is where I do very, very well. Stay organized.
Nope.
Right? Use planners, calendars, to-do lists, whatever you need to do to maintain control over your time and responsibilities.
Okay, well, that's not true. In my personal life, no. But at work, Jesus Christ, I'm like the organizer for my team.
And I'm the opposite because my coworkers need me to be flexible.
Yeah.
At work. I mean, I do have I do have ideas in place with the understanding that they often won't happen the way I had it planned, and that's okay.
Well, if that, because that's literally part of your job, though.
Well, I know.
Mine can't be.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I'm probably working on Sunday to plan out stuff for the next week.
Yeah. Nope. I am going to try really hard not to think about work till Monday morning. Well, maybe Sunday night when I have to remember to put my alarms back on.
Yeah.
But other than that, you want to work on growing your confidence and embodying your confidence. So maybe dress with intention. Find clothes that make you feel powerful, that make you feel confident. I do very much find that I have certain outfits that I wear on the nights that I'm going to be topping versus the nights, let's say, that I'm hostessing.
So interestingly enough, I've always said this, but I do it at work. So I'm the odd duck at my work. I'm new, and the culture is very, very different than where I used to work. And I dress a certain way that is my style. My style is very vintage. It's almost costumey every single day. And I put on that, and I'm one of the only people in my entire job that wears makeup. You're looking at it like I'm crazy. I swear to God, I'm one of the only people that wears like full-fledged makeup every day. But I've always told people that this is my armor. This is literally, my clothes are my battle armor, and putting on the makeup is like putting on warrior paint, like a Viking.
I find it funny you mentioned that. I very much feel that when I get all dolled up with the hair and the makeup, that is
a confidence booster.
It's an absolute confidence booster. But the whole warrior thing, like it's my face paint, literally.
It's like putting on, like, you know, the Scottish, they used to do like the handprint or something, or Vikings, they draw like very, very specific designs. That's what it is. And that's why, you know, you have different types of makeup when you're going to someplace more chill versus like to Crucible for the evening. You do very specific types of makeup. During the normal days, I match my eyeshadow color to my outfit. And people always take notice of that, but it's literally because it's warrior face paint. I don't know why. That's just how I feel about the makeup.
I'm very much like that. So, and it's, as I said, there's certain outfits that I will put on for the nights that I'm topping versus the nights that I'm hostessing, because it's a different mentality that I need.
Right.
Right. When I am dressing up for hostessing, I want to be very warm and welcoming and friendly. When I'm topping, it's not that I don't want to be those things. It's just that's not my focus. My focus is that I want to embody confidence. I want people to look at me and go, oh, she's in charge.
Well,
right?
Yeah, but you're okay. So the other thing is your power colors are pink and black.
Yeah.
Mine are pink and red. Even though I'm like purple, my power colors pink and red, black and red.
Yeah.
My power colors are always and always have been black and red. So that is most of my fucking wardrobe. And wearing that is how I feel like I can handle this. So that's at work, because my work is very intense and very decision-making. And honest to God, the other day I was so tired of people asking me questions constantly every 5 seconds. Hey, can I do this? What about this? What about this? I literally put a paper bag over my head and I said, stop talking to me. I have picture proof of me with a paper bag over my face, like that says, do not speak to me anymore.
Oh, we should use that because it doesn't show your face, so we could actually use
that. Oh,
that.
yeah, no. Here's a picture of Dara getting really pissed off at peopling.
You guys have been asking to see a picture of Dara. Here she is.
You know what the worst part is? I didn't have a paper bag, so I made one out of paper towels.
It works.
I stapled them together and made a paper bag.
All right, we need to redo it with an actual paper bag.
Oh, yeah, no, we can repose that.
Yeah,
no problem.
I think I've got paper bags at home from the grocery store. I'll send you home
cool
with one.
Photo shoot.
Yeah. All right. Then also even your physical presence. Practice walking with purpose and making deliberate movements to radiate authority. I absolutely find that I walk different with certain outfits.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like the more confident, I always walk with shoulders back, boobs out, because part of it's because being as short as I am, I'm always when I'm sitting, that's a whole different story. But when I'm standing, I'm never hunching over because I'm always trying to make myself appear taller.
I'm usually at a desk. So like in the morning, I'll sit nice and straight and tall. And then by, 1, 2 p.m., I'm like boobs on the desk, hunched over, like ready to fall asleep.
Yeah, no. Oh, that's like perfect. But we'll have to.
Yeah, we have to redo it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that'd be very funny. Okay. Use the opportunity to engage with community. And I don't mean engage with the community to find a submissive. That's a whole different episode. We have a whole episode on dating as kinky. And don't ask me what the number is. I do not know off the top of my head. But this one is about engaging with the community as a solo dominant to work on growing your dominant energy. So attend local events, join munches and social, meet other dominants and submissives to kind of observe different dynamics and exchange ideas with them. Volunteer at events. Offer to help with setup, with demos or workshops, and become an active participant in the scene. Use this opportunity to seek mentorship, connect with other experienced dominants. Find a mentor who can provide guidance and feedback on your journey. Maybe if you've been in it long enough, you just don't happen to have a submissive at this time, then you become a mentor to somebody else and share your knowledge with others and reinforcing your understanding of the role. You want to attend local munches and events and engage with others in safe, low pressure environment to learn. You want to join discussion groups and forums, some that might be dominant focused and some that are just kinkster based, so that you can make those connections. Immerse yourself in the role. Create like a personal dynamic with yourself. So treat your environment as your domain and manage it with care and precision. Plan out rituals that you might want to implement with a submissive, such as the morning greetings or the nightly check-ins or specific service tasks. Engage in kink-adjacent activities. So find art forms or hobbies that align with your style of dominance. Maybe martial arts, which very much will embody discipline, or dance to help refine control and movement. And if you incorporate a lot of these, you're going to keep your dominant energy sharp and ready for when you actually do find a submissive to share your journey with. So let's talk about some other ways to learn and grow as a dominant, starting with obviously education. Read books and articles. Find foundational texts like the New Topping book to understand the emotional, ethical, and practical aspects of dominance. Find some niche topics. Dive into books or essays about specific kinks or techniques, such as rope or impact or electro. Find online articles, blogs, and posts by some respected educators. You can find them on FetLife. I know a lot of people are on Substack as well. Look for firsthand accounts and in-depth exploration of power dynamics. We have added a blog feature on pinkkinkpodcast.com. I've only got one article up right now, but more will be coming as I get them written. So you have that also. If you also want to have a list of books to read, we do have that under our resources guide, a very lengthy, I think it's like 3 pages of books that are split up into different subcategories. So look for all of that. Take online courses and webinars. You've got websites like Kink Academy or the Duchy or YouTube channels that have BDSM educators where you can get structured lessons on various topics. You find specialized classes, workshops on advanced techniques, or, right, you've got Pink Kink Institute, Wicked Grounds do online prep where you could take from the comfort of your own sofa or wherever you prefer to sit, hopefully not on the potty, and take...
At least not with the sound on.
No, thank you. Or the camera. I don't want the camera either.
Yeah, no.
So that you can take classes from experts. Listen to podcasts and watch videos. I mean, obviously you have us for humor and real world insight, but you've got Loving BDSM or Off the Cuffs for a blend of educational and personal stories. You've got video tutorials. You've got like Dom Subliving has a podcast. Sunny Megatron has American Sex Podcast. You've got Kink Academy, which has a lot of visual videos on different skills. We've talked about this. Master your basic skills. Start with key techniques, proper flogging, proper caning, proper spanking, proper tying of rope, wax, whatever it is that you're into. And then practice those in low stakes environment where you don't actually have a human body that you're working on. You're just using pillows and mannequins or whatever. Increase your theoretical knowledge. Understand the why. Learn the psychology behind submission and power dynamics to help you feel even more secure in guiding scenes and controlling your dynamic. Expand your vocabulary. Build fluency in BDSM terms and negotiation language so that you can communicate more effectively. Learn from non-kinksters. Read books or watch talks by leaders in business or the arts or other fields to study their leadership styles and see how they inspire and guide others. Model their behavior, emulate their traits like calm decisiveness and clear communication and confidence. I keep harping on this. Practice personal development. Develop your leadership skills. Improve your decision making. Practice making confident decisions in your daily life, such as maybe a work project that you volunteer for or leading group activities with your friends. Take responsibility. Engage in activities that require accountability, like volunteering or organizing events. And that could be either through work, through charitable work, through a friend group. Reach out to your friends and say, hey, I really want to go to one of those escape rooms. So I'm going to plan all this and tell you guys anything of that. So when you offer to help plan or lead this event, it helps you really practice your leadership and confidence. We talk about mentorship programs, right? Mentor a new kinkster in an area you're confident in, which can reinforce your expertise. Or even if you just mentor through like a big brother, big sister kind of a group, which will, again, help you work on confidence and leadership skills. Focus on emotional intelligence. Cultivate empathy. Engage in your active listening and perspective-taking exercises so that you can better understand others' emotions and needs. Here's a really big one that I've never really heard anybody talk about before. Enhance your conflict resolution skills.
Also, not something I think I will be doing.
Learn techniques for resolving disagreements constructively, because that translates to managing challenges in your power exchange dynamic.
I'm going to stick to my subtitles.
And your passive aggression?
Yeah. Well, I really do need to get better at it at work, because I really do have this one coworker. I was sick one day, missed a meeting, and I was getting texts from everybody. God damn it, I wish you were here because this chick is driving me crazy. And I'm like, what the fuck was I going to do about it? I don't handle her. They're like, yeah, but you'd share the pain. Great. Thank you.
I'm not a masochist. I don't want to. Right? Practice discipline and structure, whether it's establishing rules or routines for yourself or setting short and long-term goals for your growth and then reviewing those regularly and updating them and giving yourself pink stars for those things that you managed to accomplish.
You had to throw that in there.
It's my foreshadowing.
Yeah.
For a future episode. Expand your knowledge of dynamics themselves, right? We talked about practical skills, but what about your knowledge of how dynamics work? Learn about various dynamics and like service-oriented or primal play or caregiver little. Recognizing, though, of course, that no two dynamics are actually alike, and you're going to have to be flexible and adapt it based upon the needs of you and your partners, but you still can get an understanding of a very general thing. Understand motivation. Why do submissives engage in specific behaviors and what drives them? Work on your negotiation skills. Learn how to discuss limits and boundaries and expectations. Finally, engage in self-reflection, right? As Dara very clearly stated, and correctly so, this is not just for submissives. Track your progress. Write about what you're learning, how your skills are improving, and what challenges you have to face. Reflect on your experiences. Explore how in the past, both in and out of kink, how did any of that shape your dominant identity and what you do or do not want? Identify your areas of growth, your strengths, your weaknesses. Ask for feedback from peers or mentors or even past partners about areas that they think you should work on or things that you got really, really right. Recognize doubts and imposter syndrome. I hear this a lot from people. It is very normal for imposter syndrome, and you can have it as a dominant. So recognize that feeling of inadequacy is really normal, especially if you're a newer dominant. And knowing that this is a shared experience might help you reduce that self-doubt, because if you're looking at somebody over there who's been doing this for years and say, well, I don't see any self-doubt in them, maybe not by now, but they certainly did at one point.
Also, they just might be really good at hiding it.
Yeah, you don't know what's happening behind closed doors. Work on your long-term confidence. Build a network of supportive peers, allies, if you will, who will help you share encouragement, advice, and camaraderie and can share stories with you. Engage in some low-pressure play, for practice. And so ask your trusted friends or other community members for practice scenes where you're focusing on your topping skills more so than an actual dynamic. And then get constructive input from them after it's happened. Ask them for some honest feedback to identify your areas of strength or areas for improvement. And then take that feedback positively. You're asking for it, they're giving it. Let's not get all upset when you hear something maybe you don't want to hear. And regularly revisit your growth. Reflect on how your skills and your confidence have grown so that you can see you are making progress all the time. So that was a lot of information that I just threw at you. The key takeaways I really would like you to have is that dominance is really a mindset that can absolutely be nurtured whether you have a partner or not. And that your self-awareness, education, and practice are the keys for you to grow in your role as a dominant. And none of that takes away from being a dominant and being in control. I think that's another important takeaway is that part of being in control is controlling yourself.
Absolutely.
In fact, I think if you can't control yourself, you shouldn't be trying to control another person.
Ding, 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 ding.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I did that one all on my own. It's not even in the notes.
You just came up with that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. And really take the time to explore your identity as a dominant and use this period when you don't have a partner to build a strong foundation so that when you do finally have a partner, just think of how prepared you're going to be. So at this point, that's pretty much it for me.
I've already made all my comments.
There we go. I encourage you.
In fact, I was trying very hard not to make comments during the last 15 minutes of this.
You're the one who is stuck that we have to be like exactly 1 hour. I prefer...
Give or take 5 minutes.
I prefer to just say what has to be said, and however long that takes us.
You're not editing.
No, but I also don't want to rush things or leave things out because I'm worried we're not going to fit it into this time frame.
So are you telling me to cut back on the funny comments and the stories?
No.
Because you put a lot of information in here, and it's like all the stories and stuff. I feel like they don't have any room.
There's always room for stories and funny comments.
Okay.
Because if I have to leave some stuff out, I'll leave some stuff out. So we don't go to 2 hours.
Thank you. I'll kill you.
This is just, again, like dominating. This is a structure I've created, but there's flexibility to it based upon my needs and your needs.
Okay.
And the listener's needs. Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you enjoyed what you heard, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a minute of our fun and educational content. New episodes drop every Friday.
If you love what we do and want to show support, there are several ways. Join us on Patreon at patreon.com/pinkkinkpodcast. You can support our affiliates or help spread the word about our kinky podcast to your friends.
Don't forget to rate and review Pink Kink on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Those 5-star reviews go a long way in boosting our podcast through the algorithm and reaching more listeners.
Sign up for our Pink Kink Institute classes. Shop at our Etsy shop, Pink Kink Boutique. Stay connected with us on social media. You'll find all the links on our Linktree posted in the show notes.
Your support means the world to us. So until next time, stay pretty, stay safe,
and stay twisted.